Yeah, no, I don't know. Nobody messaged me, so we'll see. Besides, I don't think I can go fishing. I gotta be caretaker.
Mm. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that fucking. You have a good chance if they're going Sunday or this Sunday. Good chance of catching.
For real.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
Ah,
tomorrow's a good day to fish.
nice. Take this thing out. How's it, guys? Sorry, still setting up all of my tablets and stuff.
Do you want to go in or right here?
Yeah, right here's fine, but I'm comfortable right here. Maybe Bombay we can go walking, but right now I'm good.
I feel like we're outside the barrier.
Yep. Nah,
I feel
bro,
like
the
we're outside the
barrier's around
barrier.
us. I'm not worried about that. The barrier's around us.
No, like I feel like when we cross this,
Oh,
step into that realm, man. Like
oh yeah.
yeah, that's
When you go down, it's completely
yeah,
different too.
yeah, yeah. The more we go in,
Yeah.
I feel
That
like it's
guy, that guy Tom Springer,
mm,
cool brother. We came up here with Uilani and all that, and him and Melody, and up here there were air elementals. He said,
mm.
and as soon as we walked down there, he's like, "Oh, wow, this place has tons of water elementals, right?" Hey, there's Uilani. You remember that, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Sandy. Hey, Uilani. How's
We're
it?
in the line now. Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, thank you for the share. This is AK Kala. Mahalo. Sorry, I'm still getting a little situated here. Man, fun it bugs everywhere. Um, house blessings. I figure it's been a while since we've done this, and because Facebook, where all of my old videos are, have been erasing the posts and lives and stuff like that. This is a good topic to go on. Because a lot of people, well, they tend to freak out, yeah, when they get ghosts and stuff like that, naturally. But they're not always scary, yeah. There you go. We get this, we get this, we get this. Hey, how's it, Jay? Oh, you someone scroll right by. Jay Wiz. I wish I was Big Island. I love to go Big Island, but yeah. Bombay. Hey, Big Kavik, how's it? Let's see if this thing working here. Boom. Ah, man, this tablet is just junk, or Facebook is just junk. And there's Matt. How's it? Yeah, that was cool. So I was thinking about it. It's just something about the elementals. One of the stories that came to my mind today, one of the experiences was with Uncle Ruben, and it was really awesome. Uncle Ruben is a Native American shaman, elder kind of guy, and you know what I mean. He's helped me out on a lot of house blessings and whatnot. We went to Blaisdell Park, to meet up with somebody who needed a house blessing. Man, Facebook is just junk. Hold on, let's see. Troy, how's it? How's it? Yeah, I can't do anything about Facebook. This is on a different device right now, and it's still junk. Um, sorry. So yeah, we was over at the. We went to help this lady out who had what sounded initially like a demonic attachment, possession kind of thing going on, but Um, I was with Guy and Uncle Ruben, and we just walked along the shore. And as we were walking along the shore, there was some real bad juju in the area. We could feel it. And I tried to say the prayer to St. Michael. I could not remember it. It was weird. So I told Guy, I'm like, Guy, I forgot my prayer, bro. I forgot the prayer to St. Michael. Can you say it? And then Guy forgot it. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And so, no, so we Uncle Ruben helped out, and then we got our prayers back. I think I googled it on my phone and played it, and we walked back to the parking lot after it was all done. Something kind of came out, tried to challenge us a little bit, but there wasn't anything that came of it. It just kind of ran as soon as it was done. as soon as we're done with the prayers. But then we're back in the parking lot, and we're just hanging out at the car talking story, and then Uncle Ruben lifted his arm up just out of the blue, and the wind picked up, just started ripping around us, and like maybe 30 feet away, a little dust devil picked up, a little small little tornado picked up. Uncle Ruben looks at us, smiles, puts his hand down, the wind dies, dust devil disappears. He's like, "That was cool, yeah?" And he lifts his hand up again. The wind picks up, the dust devil comes back from the same place. And he did this couple of times, and he's like, "Yeah, the spirits are here watching us." You know, that was real cool. Neil, Scott, how's it? How's it? Good to see you guys. That was something awesome to witness. Yo, Lord Pidity, how's it? It's me. Aloha. I'm in this forest. Can you find me? Oh, yeah. Not looking for chupacabra, not looking for skinwalkers, not looking for night crawlers. We just here telling ghost stories. In Hawaii, we get plenty kind of stuff over here, yeah. So I always like to share stories. Raymond, how's it? How's it? Bruh, I'm sorry. Facebook, I'm sorry. Just, I forgot to post the link for YouTube and TikTok. The audio, the video quality is just so junk. Hey, Mary Nem, how's it? How's it? Aloha, Argos. Okay.
If you
Hmm?
you go on the YouTube and
Bro, look at this, man. Look at
are
this.
you able to click share?
On YouTube, I cannot share the, but on my, oh yeah, you don't have,
You do. Okay, so you see the three dots on the top right?
yeah,
Click on that. There's a share button.
on
YouTube.
YouTube, I don't see the three dots because I'm live.
Oh, never mind. You know what I was doing. I was
Yeah.
try you go fucking post it in the comments, but you'd have to do that on your on the phone that music is spoken.
Yeah. Set
Never
up,
mind.
set up a chair and start cooking, brah. That's gonna be coming up. Brian Dizzy, we're in Nu'uanu, on Oahu, in Hawaii, on planet Earth. You know stories about Oregon have a family that got mass massacred? No, I haven't heard about that one, but we have enough over here as well too. So many stories of Kahuku and the lady in white. Yep, 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 yep. Hey, aloha everybody. How's it? So many stories of the lady in white. We get plenty of white ladies in Hawaii that wear like white dresses. Some of them are Pele and stuff too, though, so I cannot call them white ladies.
They're all kind of getting mixed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The faces lady, the
The-
white lady, the lady of like.
Bruh, this road alone. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, share what you get. Share what you get. That everyone shared this with for a while. Um, we're right over here in Nu'uanu on this trailhead, right? And it comes up the old Pali Road. And I was driving by over here one day, right over here in front of me, going concrete barrier where you can park outside of. And I used to work with group homes, people who were out of the state hospital, made sure they took their medication, and we came up over here because they was gonna go play bingo in Waikiki. So on the way back, I took them through this old scary road, yeah. And we saw, I was just kind of joking around. We see one lady in white walking up the road. It's probably Pele, you know. We're gonna have to pull over and give her one ride, and she will sit next to you guys in the back, yeah. But as we passed Jud Trail that night, we actually saw a person sitting down here, dressed in white, by themselves. I was driving, I didn't really look, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop. I was just kidding. But everybody said that it was a lady in white sitting down in like, yeah, in like a dress, a white dress. Hey, 808, how's it? Um, Mike, how's it? How's it? Aussie. Oh, I didn't see you. Hey, Aussie, how's it, brother? Cheryl, how's it? I can't get over the fact you guys get 100 letters on your street names. Hey, Troy. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, but Hawaiian is so much easier than English, you know. I promise. For Hawaiian, you just, yeah, hold on, we'll get to that. That's a whole other story, yeah. Hawaiian, you're supposed to, you pronounce every letter the same way. If you can say aloha, you get two vowels done already. You can say waikiki, you get three vowels, you know. So it's like English, you get 7 different ways to pronounce every letter, and you just gotta kind of guess, yeah. So you just gotta take your time. Gotta go Y and I to be hunted, brah. I'm not that brave. Your dad has the same story. Okay, I guess I'll share a story over here with you guys. Um, the road that we're on, Old Pali Road, is known for all of this kind of stuff over here. You know, a lot of paranormal activity. This is the place where you small kid, you know, high school, you go hunting over here with your friends until something happened and you run away screaming. You know. So I was high school, and the story, as I remember it, was there was me, my brother, and my friend Tori. You know, we was just cruising up here, and Halloween, we were just driving around looking for ghosts, just going holo holo, you know. And so we was driving up over here. Of course, we're not brave enough to get out yet. All the times in high school, we go and ghost hunting. We never get out the car. I don't know why. Anyway, we drove down this road, pitch black, and you know nothing happened. It was about midnight on Halloween, so we turned around. We drove back up. You know, we went down, saw the lights, and I'm just turning my headlights off and scaring everybody, and you know, acting stupid. Then we turned around, drove back up the road, and we figured, that's not fun. Let's just go home already. So as we were driving up, right up over here where we are, more up towards the Pali, right around a certain turn, there was a car, and the car coming towards us, right? So I stopped goofing off and turning my lights on and off, and just became a regular driver. Joy, how's it? Good to see you. And so we're driving up over here, and the car stopped. He pulls into my lane and stops. And so I stop, wondering what the heck this guy's doing. And he turns the headlights off. One click, so the parking lights are on. And for a while, maybe a couple minutes or so, this guy is just sitting over there in my lane, and we're wondering, oh, what's this guy gonna do? You know, what's going on? What the heck is this guy's problem? He's in my lane and he stopped, and it's like just kind of weird. And then the passenger door opens up, and this lady is kind of thrown out of the passenger door in a white dress and just crumples to the road. Only then do the headlights turn back on, and the car just swerves around us and digs out, leaving this lady on the road. And so um, we were just kind of sitting there. I remember Tori was in the back, my friend, and my brother was in the front. And oh, hold on, I gotta do this. Aloha Chanel. I'm reading the comments here. I'm trying to, but no, we are not the ghost tours. I don't do ghost tours. I do ghost stories. The ghost tours in Lahaina, that is not pono at all. You know what I mean? No, 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 no. I mean, I understand completely. This was a big thing in the paranormal community that you don't go Lahaina and do that kind of stuff, bro. That's not no, 100% no. You know, anyway, back to the story. We're over there, and the lady's crumpled in a little crumpled heap on the in the middle of the road, and I'm like, bro, we gotta go pick her up. We gotta see if she's okay. And my friend Tori's in the back, like, nah, 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 bro, just keep driving, bro, just keep driving. I'm like, no, dude, something might be wrong with her. We need to go see what's wrong with her. I mean, you don't want to be stranded here, let alone on midnight on Halloween, right? So I'm slowly going towards her. You know, headlights are on. You can see her, but not much, right? Because she's like lying on the road, kind of thing. And as I get closer to her, I remember like my brother just like I'm arguing with Tori, right? Because my friend's in the back. You know, like sit by her. We go pull over. We're in a hatchback, and he's gonna have to sit by this freaking lady on the road, right? So he's freaking out, and then all of a sudden, my brother kind of just grabs the wheel, steers around her, and slams my foot into the gas, and kept driving. And I'm like, bro, what the hell? And he told me, this is how I remember it. Yeah, he told me that he saw the lady, and the lady never had a face. And so, yeah, I think we looked back in the mirror and we saw, and there was nobody. You know, big every time. Hey, right on, right on. Glad to have you back, bro. So yeah, we looked back and there was nobody there. Apparently, it was one lady in a white, a faceless lady. So then, the next day, I told my friend what had happened, and she said that the same thing had happened to them a year ago on the same road, at the same time. They was doing the same thing, And so we came back the next year and we watched the same chain of events happen, but this time our doors were locked and our windows were up. You know, we saw the same thing. The car pull over, the lady get pushed out of the car. And I swear, this time as I drove by slowly with my windows up and my door locked, the lady wouldn't look up and she never had one face. So we just kept going. Yeah, but there's a lot of stories about the vanishing hitchhiker. In Hawaii, it's a little tricky because if the lady is one Hawaiian lady, you gotta offer her one ride, yeah? But by she appear inside your car anyway, yeah? That would be Madame Pele that got us to the volcano, yeah? Kelly, how's it? Noreen, how's it, everybody? Mahialani. Um, so yeah, but if the lady no more face, you don't pick her up or you get bad luck. But if it's a Makapu, you don't tell your wife if you see one hitchhiker because if it's one lady in a bridal dress that's all torn up, she only shows herself to men who are unfaithful to their wives. Yeah. I was on the ghost tour one night doing the ghost tour and I shared that story and I was right about to share it's there's a lady over, she used to live Makapu Lighthouse, long story short. Glenn Grant wrote it, maybe I'll tell it again later, but she appears to men who are unfaithful to their wives. And I've done with the story, and I was right about to say she only appears to men who are unfaithful to their wives. When this guy in the back of the car was like, "Oh, I went see her," and then his wife sitting next to him was like, "Oh, for real? You went see her?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, I cannot say that now," Why she get all nuts.
Oh, super blurry, yeah.
Ah, I noticed that. Hold on.
Hmm.
There you go. I'm softer on Facebook. I took that stuff off. So yeah. Facebook is just, bruh, the quality is just, I don't know. Maybe it's the tablet that I'm using, but I'm also on TikTok, Hawaiian Hauntings, and YouTube, Hawaiian Hauntings. So yeah, if you guys want to see a better view, yeah. I don't know, dude.
What is he trying to focus on?
What is it trying to focus on? Exactly.
It went clear and then it refocused to blurry vision.
Let me try to wipe the lens real fast.
No, it was clear for a moment when you adjusted it.
Yep. Oh, the thing moving around. Look, it's focusing on something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, the subject of the live is house blessings. Because Glenn Grant had the same thing. Yeah? Because he tells ghost stories, people seem to think that he can go do house blessings and help people with their paranormal problems and all of that. Well, he does, but you know, yeah, on TikTok it's blurry by the sign. I think that's the glare. No, it is kind of blurry. Look at him. No, it's a glare. Keith, how's it, bro? Good to see you. New Slenderman game. I need to lose weight though. If I ever lose enough weight, I'll dress up as Slenderman. Well, it'll be one good Halloween costume. Huh?
And you want to see Slenderman? Look at that's a scary
I'll go dress up as Slenderman with my beer belly,
Oh,
Hey, right on. Thank you. There was a little dinosaur on my Takai TikTok. One of Glenn Grant's walking tours. Oh, that's awesome. I cannot read your name, but that's a hilarious name. I love it. Okay, but yeah, house blessings and all that. People have just started asking me to bless their houses, and if I knew somebody, and I always figure, I tell people, I'll do what I can. I'm Catholic. I learned how to bless houses, kind of taught myself. If I can help, I will. If not, then, yeah. But I always recommend go get one priest or somebody else and that kind of stuff, yeah. But doing it so much, I've kind of learned how to do it. A lot of people have helped me, and I gotta tell you guys, a lot of people get haunted houses, yeah. A lot of people get ghosts, but just because you get ghosts in your house, no mean that it's the devil. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, "Oh no, the devil himself is over here. The devil himself is slamming the cupboards, and he's a black shadow walking across my hallway." the first thing I always look for would be what's happening. Is the ghosts, is the paranormal activity in the house limited to sightings, or is it interactions? Is there something hiding under your bed trying to scare you? Is something looking at you, targeting you? Is something touching you, scratching you, grabbing you, threatening you? Do you feel unsafe? Not scared. Do you feel like something is trying to target you specifically, right? That, hey, Suzette, how's it? That is the time when you need help. But if you see something walking around, if you see, if you're hearing, if you see something walking around doing its thing, no big deal. You know what I mean? No worry. You might still want to do a blessing if you want, but like, don't try to kick it out. In Hawaii, we get plenty spirits in the land, yeah? And you bless your house as much as you want, but these buggers, they stay in the soil. So unless you're going to bless 10 feet under your ground, under the house, you better learn to live with this, yeah? You let them know who you are. You ask, you kind of draw out the rules. And for me, I've learned you show them respect. You show them the respect, and then in turn, they will show you respect, right? A lot of the times, the Hawaiian hauntings, the hauntings that are of a Hawaiian nature are more angry because they don't understand. There are the bones of the ancestors under the house, and then there's the people that live in the house, and the ancestors, the kupuna, they don't know why there are people living above them. I had a house that was haunted. This one was cool, right? So I'm talking to them. They over like stadium area, yeah. Their house was haunted. They had doors slamming, things slamming, things flying around the house, like silverware flying to the other side of the room, the cabinets slamming, just something really angry, yeah. And that's what they feel is anger. And so I'm looking into the case a little bit, and I talk to them for about an hour, collect all the facts, collect all the details that I can. And it just so happened my other friend, I was talking to one of my psychic friends, and she always gets messages from me, yeah. And so we're just chatting, and then all of a sudden she's like, Joe, there's this Hawaiian man behind me, and he says he has a message for you. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. I don't know who, lots of messages, right? I don't know who this guy is pertaining to. She said, oh, he said he's from the stadium area. The area he's showing me looks like it's a stadium. And I'm like, oh, for real? I get one house blessing over there in a week or two. She's like, oh, yeah, this is the spirit. He's very angry. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like the one. Go ahead. What message does he have? She says, oh, well, he says they got to stop being dirty. They got to clean up their house, and they got to stop throwing cigarette butts in the dirt outside their front door, outside their house. He said it's pilau, it's dirty, it's, it's disrespectful, and they need to stop it. And so I talked to the lady, and I'm like, oh, this is the message that I had gotten, that you guys are throwing cigarette butts in the yard, and your house is dirty in more ways than one, which is what I felt. The house is dirty, it's messy, and, she's like, oh, yeah, we're still unpacking, there's boxes everywhere, the house is a mess. And she's like, and I told my husband, stop throwing his cigarette butts in the yard, I'm going to get him an ashtray. And so they did that, they cleaned the house, and come to find out there was a lot of, that energy kind of tends to make you fight too, yeah. If you go into a house with a lot of anger, the people in the house tend to get angry too, and they don't usually know why. It's very common to hear that kind of phenomenon where we always fighting over here, but as soon as we leave the house, we look at each other and we're like, hey, how come we're fighting? That kind of thing. Um, so they stopped fighting, they made everything pono, and they apologized, and I never had to bless the house. I never even met them. All the problems resolved on its own, yeah. Chris, Lele, how's it? Yeah, Hawaiian Hauntings, that's me. Sorry, I'm reading this stuff over here. Psychic friends, Joe, you hanging out with Diane Warwick? No, I don't know who that is.
Leon Warwick.
Who's that?
Singer.
Huh?
The singer. That's your friends up for.
Oh.
Yeah.
I tend to have I tend to meet a lot of people who are gifted. It's awesome. Yeah. They're amazing. So many amazing people. I don't want to call their names out and shout their names out or anything, because then the problem comes where people message them and they like free readings and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff, you know. But it's awesome. Everybody has gifts, and through all the people, yeah, that I have come across, we give them lots of ample chance to use them. House blessings. How do you do them? I did. I think the last video I did on this was during COVID, because there was a spike I noticed in haunted houses because we couldn't go and bless them. Yeah, it was social distancing, and nobody wanted to let people in their house. And um, in Hawaii, I would highly recommend you stay away from sage. Matt, how you feeling?
Okay.
I'm getting dizzy. I'm feeling very dizzy right now. I don't know why.
Is it because you're exhausted or
I'm not exhausted,
really
but it feels like I'm exhausted, yeah. I don't know. Don't use sage. Sage, don't use sage unless you know what you're doing, right? Too many people use sage because they see them on TV shows and they hear about it. And, you know, if you are, Toby, from your energy, oh, you can take your energy back. Thank you. Nah. Um, if you are Native American and sage is your strong point, hey, use sage. Go for it. You know what I mean? But, like, if you are not Native American and it's your first time, no use another culture's strength for your as your own. Use your own strength. You know, I'm Hawaiian. I use the tea leaf. I use the Hawaiian salt, and I'm Catholic. I use holy water. You know, that's how I bless the house. I don't use sage. I do have sage. I do have Palo Santo. I do have all of that stuff, but I use it if the situation calls for it. You know, like right now, if I had my Palo Santo, I'd probably light it. I don't know if it's bad energy around here, but I just feel kind of. Huh? Okay, yeah, yeah, go take them. Hey, Joy, you got black salt on you. Maybe I'll tell that story if it's okay. That's a good one too later. Right on, Kimmy.
No, thank you.
Oh, hey, wait, what?
Huh?
It's your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, happy birthday, brah. Jeez, you never tell me that. It's Matt's birthday
I
today.
don't know that it's doing.
Now everybody knows about it.
Ah, man.
Sean, how's it, brah?
Thank you for calling me. I appreciate it.
Hey, D, how's it?
How's your day?
Hey, Matt, happy birthday, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, he's over there talking to his boy. Exercise holy water and exercise salt. I find it easier to just use holy water and salt. In fact, for me, I will I will pray over the holy water myself. I would pray over regular water myself. I do a prayer. Sometimes I have regular holy water, but I like to use the holy water I make. Hey, brother, we in Nu'uanu right now, on the old Pali Road, on Oahu. So yeah, that's where we stay. I like to create my own just because I can repurpose it for the case of the house, you know, for the certain special things that are happening in the house. Besides, the Catholic believe that, hey, how's it, Zanita? The Catholics believe that after, what is it called? The 40 days after Lent, you got to get new holy water, yeah? So, I mean, there's that. That's fine too. White lady on that road. Oh, I know. I know. What's up, Mr. Cheese? How's it? So yeah, use your own strength. Don't use other people's strength. And how I bless my houses is, well, I mean, as I said, it all really depends on what's happening and what's going on. Some houses I don't, because if it's too much paranormal activity, especially if you're dealing with portals, right? Um, you can bless the house as good as you want, but it might not work because portals, they open and they close, and if the entities can control the portals, then you're gonna bless the house and they're gonna jump out and they're gonna not be there when you're blessing them. And as soon as you're done blessing it, they're gonna pop the portal open again and harass you through the portal. It's like a window, how I see it. It's like they open the window and then they throw stuff at you, and then when you retaliate, they close the window and disappear, right? Hey, no, are we talking about house blessings and stuff tonight? Yeah, because I haven't done that for a while. It sounds like Reverend Kaupu. Hey, I'd like to meet him. Probably one handsome bugger. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. He probably is, but yeah. I would love it if you could find my cousin who disappeared in the Waipio Valley Lookout area. Waipio Valley Lookout. I was there last year. Ooh, man. I'm going to screenshot this. And I will look you up next time I go Big Island if I find anything. Where you stay? I stay Old Pali Road. House blessings. Protection. That kind of stuff. So for the house blessings, I guess, I will start in the back. The way I see it, I'm sanitizing the house, right? Any kind of energies, any kind of entities, I sanitize them. I get rid of them. So I start in the back room. I do the corners. First I do all the reflective surfaces because they could be portals. Mirrors, windows. I do my tea leaf, dip it in the Hawaiian salt and the water, holy water. I do the sign on the cross as I do on Our Father, you know. I do that to everything reflective, and then I dip it in the tea leaf and I start throwing holy water on the walls, starting in the back, working my way towards the door. It's like you're sweeping, right? You're not going to sweep all the dust, you know what I mean, and then walk all over it, right? You start in the back and you sweep and you work towards the door, right? So if you bless the door first, then everything else has nowhere to go, yeah? So I make the room clean, and these other unclean spirits cannot be in the room because it's clean. And so I will do it foot by foot, inch by inch, side by side, the roof, any inside cabinets, and then they have to escape and the energy has to get out. And it's all about intention. Right? You gotta, the intention is to make the energy good and to get rid of the bad energy and the entities. And then I'll push them out and I'll bless the door last. And when I'm done blessing then I'll bless the door and that room is clear. Then I'll do the other room. And then any other rooms attached to the hall, and then I'll do the hallway. And so basically, I know that the rooms I blessed are safe, are done, they're clean. Then I push it out the hallway, and then I do the kitchen, and basically I do the same thing out, and I work my way out to the front door. And when I do the doors, I do the sign of the cross on the top of the door frame as well. And that's kind of how I do it, if that makes sense to you guys. I know I always heard a lot where, oh yeah, it's like he's sweeping a house, like he's cleaning a house. Yeah, sage works the same, yeah. Sage, I've seen people use sage the same way. You start in the back, work your way to the front, yeah. In Jesus' name, yeah, amen. You know, my faith has gotten just stronger from doing this kind of stuff. I've seen miracles, I've seen just amazing things, you know, and God's working this. It is just so cool. I reserve that na'alehu for when I need it, yeah. Rebuking in Jesus' name, those are the big guns, right? The dogs would be laying down all of a sudden, jump and bark down the hallway. Yeah. Yeah. So sage would work. In my experience, sage blesses the house, right? The Hawaiian spirits, they don't know what sage is, and so they think it's a foreign thing, and they tend to fight it. They tend to get more angry. The house will be good for a week or two, and then the activity is going to ramp up because they think it's a threat and they need to defend themselves. In some cases, not all. Holy water, salt, tea leaf, this is more familiar to the Hawaiian spirits, right? And like the Filipinos say, I heard a Filipino say this once, and it's stuck. The house is not haunted. That piece of wood in the house is haunted. You know, spirits attached to objects, right? So by doing that, you don't allow any objects for them to attach to, right? That's kind of the theory. How often do you do that? As often as you need. You know, if they come back, it's good. Very often I will do a blessing on the house if I need to, and then after I'm done in the house, I will bless the person. You know. Oh, how's it? Nope, not me. I'm gonna tow truck. Thank you, brother. Yes, I've been attacked so many times, I gotta yell out in Jesus' name. Yeah, or bad spirits attached to people you left in your house. Yeah, you let in your house, exactly. Yeah, that kind of stuff can happen too. Be sure to make sure the doors and windows are open. Yep, yep, yep. You want to visit Hawaii so bad? Yeah, Hawaii's good. You use sage after you cleanse the house. Okay. I use salt, holy water, and sage. I'm Caucasian, but my grandparents are Northern Cherokee. And yep, there you go. You use your strength, that kind of stuff. I'm sorry to hear that, Chris. You don't think that's like somebody, like maybe a murder or kind of thing? Sorry. Yeah, don't worry. I do this. Oh, my name is Joe. Joe Punohu. I do this. I've been doing this for years now. Every Friday in October, I do it every night. We do different ghost stories for hour, 2 hours every night. Last week was so much fun. Oh man, last week was a blast. We did old Japanese cemetery. We did Japanese ghost stories during the Obon season, as we did little offerings and all of that. And, oh, bro, that was so cool. Uh, not Alehu. I get plenty stories. As I said, I do an hour, 2 hours every night for the whole month of October. I try to stay on the subject. Yeah, I explain what I'm lighting. Oh, there you go, Whelan. I explain what I'm lighting when burning sage to the spirits, but I'll use sage. Yep, great for insects too. It is great for stagnant energy. Brad, how's it, bro? Obaki Files. I grew up reading that book. Troy, the 2012 video Ehaku Inoa, to weave a name, provides a glimpse into cultural significance of the practices and power of names. It was produced by Christian Hepua Koa Mana'a Marquez. That's cool. Thank you for that, bro. Hawaii Ne get plenty of stuff that cannot be explained or made to understand by those who aren't from Hawaii Ne. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I know Lopaka. Oh, I go off the subject real fast. Matt and Troy would send me, like within minutes of each other, an amazing video that Lopaka did. I think I had shared the video, but a few weeks ago we had Bubba After Dark, one streamer on YouTube and TikTok. He came to Hawaii, and so I met up with him and Bean to meet them and to kind of show them how things are in Hawaii. Basically, I didn't want them to have a bad experience because you got some people from the mainland going to some Hawaiian places like the Pali and doing this kind of stuff, right? I wanted to make sure that they're paying respects the right way. They are very respectful people, but in Hawaii it's different, right? Anyway, we came over here after the Jud Trail, and we did his live, and we did a Estes Spirit Box session. I played a little bit of it for you a couple weeks ago. It was cool. Um, that's where you put on your headphones, you listen to the Spirit Box, and you put on blinders, so you can't see anything, and you can only hear the Spirit Box for 15 minutes. You're sitting down, and then the people around you ask questions, and then the Spirit Box will answer, and you say what you hear, right? So I did it. I couldn't hear nothing. The Spirit Box was so loud, and I couldn't hear anybody past that. So when we were doing that with Bubba, there were a few names that came up, which was amazing, which was incredible. I mean, the first name that came up was Ed, but then we asked, "Is your name Ed?" He says, "No." Gone fun it. What is that name? Ah, see, brain fart. Anybody here? Bubba is my new haunted spot every night. Yeah, Bubba's cool. Um, what is his name? Starts with a C. Clayton. Yeah. He said like just like this. Yeah, I'm Clayton. He said that a few times. Like, no, my name is Clayton, and he was murdered here. He said, we asked, when were you murdered here? He said 1886. And so I listened to the video a few times, and I'm already on the defensive mode because there were things coming through the spirit box that were kind of threatening to hurt these two guys and make them sick and follow them. And so I was already getting a little bit upset with these guys. And so I'm a little, I wouldn't say taunting, but like the one that he was he said that, oh, he's gonna get sick, and then, so I'm like, then this guy Clayton came through, and I'm not thinking anything about it, and I'm like, okay, it could be anybody. I don't know any Clayton. He said he was hung um, in 1886, and he went down the line, and then we ended up speaking to somebody named Darwin, and Darwin said he seemed to be more of a guardian. He said people need to come here and respect the place. People don't come here and they don't respect the place at all, and it upsets him, and it upsets a lot of spirits and all of that stuff too. Um, so yeah, then and it went on and on and on, and but those were the main key things. And then Lopaka, Matt shared a video with me, and then Troy shared the video with me. Lopaka did a video about Jud Trail, about a guy who was murdered here. His name was Clayton. um, I forget the last name. It was a Japanese Toshi, I think. His name was Clayton Darwin Toshi in 1986, that was hung here. I saw that and I'm like, Lopaka had just posted that video that day. And I've been coming here for years. I didn't even hear about that or know about that. That's why I love, like, Lopaka can give the information. Me, yeah. But like, that was just so totally awesome. Hey, Hiccups, how's it? How's it? I don't know Glenn Keela, sorry. Sorry guys, I'm not reading the comments when I'm doing the stories because I tend to get distracted, as you can tell, yeah. I had two dreams like demons were attacking me. I see my bedroom, but it's like awake fighting them. What could that mean? One was a man pulling my arm, trying to pull me off the bed. Second was a little boy. It could be a lot of things. It could be now, I'm not a dream expert. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. My first solution to problems, of course, is to find a reasonable explanation, but these are not my areas of expertise. So my second method would be to see it from the paranormal point of view and the possibilities. It could be an out-of-body experience. It could be something very symbolic, or it just could be something else. It could just be a dream and how the randomness of dreams happen. But, I always believe that the supernatural should be also taken into account. What was that? Oh, maybe that was your smoke.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't hear anything.
I saw something go left to right.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, no, I think that was the
Yeah,
smoke.
that's me. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat.
Yeah, Toby, thank you for sharing that. I live Waimea Big Island, and this auntie told me to get one pond up in the valley or get Hawaiian mermaids inside. Hoo, hoo, hoo,
And
hoo.
that's pond.
You know that one?
Yep, and that's pond.
That's mo'o, yeah? Wow. Yeah, synchronicity. Thank you, Troy. That's the word too.
And this ranch.
Demonics, a lot. I've come across demonic entities before. The true demonic entities are extremely rare, but I have come across so many ones that will fake it. I've come across so many ones that will knock on 3 times, and you need to look it up. You need to research the signs of a demonic haunting. You have the demonic activity. What is it called? The first one is a demonic infestation, then oppression, then possession. And they are all in different stages, and they have very unique characteristics you need to look for. But most of the time, I'll tell you, I've talked to people who are smelling sulfur in their home. They are getting 333. They're waking up at 3:33 every morning. Um, it's signs of a demonic haunting for sure. The beginnings of a demonic infestation. And then I go on the phone with them and I do the prayer to Michael the Archangel, and I have them do the prayer every night, and it completely goes away. Nothing. Crappy people in life become crappy ghosts. So I really recommend you do research, because you can say the words, you can do the prayer, but if you do research on religion, Michael the Archangel, all of that stuff, then your prayers just become that much more knowledgeable, that much more powerful, that kind of stuff. Well, when the man trying to pull me off the bed, he was talking weird languages. I started rebuking and praying and woke up. There you go. There you go. I stay Old Pali Road, Ultra, Mark. Hey, Mark with a K. How's it? Alehu. That's awesome. I have a lot of mermaid stories, mo'o stories. Some over here, actually. Yeah. I know, Joy. We need to have a party for you. Guarantee we'll have a party for you. September, are you? We gotta do it. We gotta do it this month.
We was mentioning a new portal opened up last night. There's new spirits around here.
Wait, what?
But a new portal opened up last night.
That's the 888, the 881,
Like this way.
the Lion's Gate or something.
Yeah, but it's the ending of the year is not 8.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But it is the 8th cycle, I believe.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, so there's new spirits here. New spirits here.
Oh.
In the have to do protocol.
There's new spirits over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That portal.
There's a lot of different. There's as you know, there's a lot of different changes in me too. My energy is just really, really weird, and it's different.
I mean, that might explain where the business came from.
Huh?
That
Yeah,
might
yeah,
explain
yeah,
where
yeah.
the business came from.
Yeah, I feel okay now. I feel like my back is sore, but I don't usually sit on this chair either. Yeah.
My back has been shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't say ghost hunting. You don't hunt something that can do a better job at hunting than you. We out here telling ghosts for the ghost stories, and seeing if they want to participate. In fact, give me a minute. Let me put this thing out. I have it. Might as well use it. And let's do a little protocol because I forgot. We never crossed into the trail yet, but aloha kupuna. Aloha to the ancestors of the area. Aloha to the spirits in the area. Aloha awina la. Aole pilikia. Good evening. We don't come here with any kind of trouble. We would like to ask your permission to be in the area, share stories, and if you have anything to share with us, as always, please feel free. Yeah. This equipment I'm going to put out, they have lights. They are little energy detectors. So if you want to try to turn one on, you're more than welcome to try. They detect electromagnetic fields or energy. And so yeah, you can communicate through that. I don't much prefer the whispers in the ear or the tapping on the shoulder. But Matt does. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Make
No,
sure
no,
I'm
no.
under that umbrella, yeah? It's going to be me that happens to. That's fine.
Yeah, so with your permission, we'd like to remain in the area for a bit, share some stories, talk stories, share some mana'o, some wisdom, and to learn as well from you guys and from the people who are listening in to the video. Tell me, you can see them good. Wow, what? Okay, well, it was a good idea, but the batteries are dead.
And batteries are those? That way? That way?
Yeah, batteries are completely dead. Animal screwdriver.
I'm a truck.
Yeah, no, it's okay, no worries.
I got batteries. Let me see if I can get it open.
Yeah, remember, it's a tiny screwdriver.
I can nail.
Huh?
I can nail.
You like try? You could try.
There we go.
And you said you get batteries? Oh wait, what the hell? I might get batteries. Hold on.
Yeah.
See, all of my equipment is in my car. I get batteries. Almost all of my equipment is in my car that my daughter went take for work. Oh, so it opens up, but it's not the part that screws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You like try? Here, I give them to you. Yeah, you get light.
Yeah. I'll do something else.
Huh?
I said I'll figure something out. There's got to be something on the ground here.
Yeah, it opens up, look. I think I need to just make a new case. I'm gonna try to go to the school, see if they can 3D print one for me. Where are you now? We're back at Judd. It was kind of cool. Oftentimes they seem to enjoy gathering around to hear the stories, and once in a while they reach out and touch you. Yeah, just tonight things are a little different. Yeah, the Blue Angels are. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go, Matt. Thank you. Blue Angels too. Yeah.
Walking in the neighborhood right now. Past 2 days.
Can you tell us about the creepy experience with a spirit that you ever had? I have many of those stories. Ben, how's it? How's it? I have many of those stories, my friend. Many of those stories, and I shared a bunch of them in the last couple of days. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I try not to tell the same story twice in a month. That leaves 12 times a year. No. I wonder what the sound. Oh, yeah. The Pali was packed. Yeah, we had the Blue Angels over here today and yesterday and tomorrow, I think. The creepiest moment for me, Sean says, hearing the drum beats played in the night when I was in Halawa Valley in Molokai. Oh, yeah. I can imagine that. I knew it was coming after you heard the drums. Yep. See, I can do this because I've never heard the drums like that. I have at a distance far away. No, no worry, no worry. You can always look through some of the older stories too, of the older lives on YouTube. I have a lot of those. Yeah, I love sharing those stories too. Don't get me wrong, I love sharing those stories. But yeah, there was a story I was gonna share. What was it about? I forget. Man,
Is it a blessing story?
huh?
Is it a blessing story?
Maybe. No, it was kind of related, but not really. Phoebe, how's it? How's it? Oh yeah, I was gonna share your story too. I remember that one, Joy. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. We're talking about protection and all of that stuff too, right? So, hey, from Connecticut, how's it, Anastasia? From Hawaii. Um, yeah, this one was fascinating. Well, for me, and frustrating, and for Joy, I don't know if I have the words for that. Yeah. Um, Yeah, whistling at night no good. So let me begin the story. So I love you guys' comments. I will try my best to read them. Feel free to repeat yourselves if you have a question that you want me to answer and I don't answer it. Yeah, I got no problem with that. When I'm looking at the camera, so I'm not looking at the phones right now. I got 3 phones in front of me too, by the way, so it just gets a little hectic and chaotic. Um, so we came here one night. It was me, Joy, Corey, Obake, and Faye. And I think her kid, one of her kids too, I think. Faye had the cool heat detector camera for the phone. Forget what it was called.
Thermal?
Yeah, it's like a thermal camera. You plug it on the bottom of your phone. It was really cool. It was like 150 bucks back then. So anyways, we're hanging out, talking story, and just talking story. And we're sitting right where we are now. And that was the night you guys had the mist, yeah? You guys saw a mist that was hanging above my van for like half an hour. I thought it was just a regular haze kind of thing and, atmospheric, but the mist didn't move, right? Sorry, I can't read. I get distracted. The mist didn't move until it did. About half an hour later, the mist moved into Joy. And Joy and Corey are badass. Faye are badass. They don't scare. I won't say they don't scare easily, but I don't think I've ever seen them scared. At all. Period. When these are the people when we actually saw a full blown apparition 10 feet away from us walking, they were like, this is cool. Nobody ran. Nobody okay, Faye was the third time, Vicky. Nobody ran, none of that. It was just yeah. First time was a miss with me. Yeah. Just us four. That's right. Anyway, so she was sitting down in the chair, and then she just, from what I can remember, yeah, I would love to bring you on, Joy. I don't know how to bring you on. If you could just share your experience, that'd be so much better. If you're down for that, if you can figure out a way. I don't know TikTok. Let me see.
You call my phone. You on speaker. You're on, Joe.
Ah, I don't know how to do that. I don't have the request on TikTok. Yeah, I'm still new to TikTok.
You know, ask me if she wants to call my phone
You want to call Matt's phone?
and put it on speaker.
Yeah, and put you on
Sure.
speaker, and you could tell your side of the story. I loved listening to it. Yeah, I love because I always hear some stuff that I missed. Right, so I can tell my side, and then you can go ahead and tell your side, or we can do that too. Let me know. Um, I don't know how we're gonna get you Matt's number. Oh, I can message it to you actually. Except I have. Okay. No worry.
So
Um,
you have her number. I'll just call her when it's
yeah,
time.
but my number's here on one of the phones.
Oh, you have a number there?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Bro, this is almost heavy. I wouldn't say it's heavy, but I don't know if it's just affecting me. You don't seem to be affected by it, bro. I can feel the weight of it on my back, like pressing down. Huh. So strange.
I'll still be heavily guarded for that.
Yeah. So, from what I remember, Joy she got into like a panicked state, which is not her. She's cool, calm, and collected all the time. And it's just it was weird, and something we could tell was definitely wrong. Her eyes were closed, and she, if I remember correctly, you were crying, or not crying, but you were like scared, and you were like, I forget, but it was just a lot of raw emotion. That's what I remember, and it was just a lot of raw emotion. You know. Okay, maybe when we do a get together, Joy, that'll be awesome. Um, and it seemed that there was a spirit that you were channeling. Something was coming through you, and you felt sad, you felt alone, you felt scared, if I can remember correctly, and all of this was going on. And meanwhile, me and Obake are walking around you. Corey is like holding you down, kind of thing, and then me and Obake, we get our salt and we're praying and that kind of stuff, and none of that seems to be working. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. It's like, all right, and then we bring you back. You told me that you could hear my voice like it was far away from a distance. Um, then you came back to yourself afterwards, and you were wondering what the heck was going on. I gave you my guardian, which is a crystal in the shape of like a medicine pounder, a poi pounder, a rock, right? But it was a selenite crystal, and you were holding on to that thing. You were just clutching onto that. I remember, and then you had a second fit where you looked like you were fighting something. Your legs kept rocking back and forth, and you told us after you were fighting the urge to throw the crystal onto the ground. Whatever it was did not want you to have the crystal, and the crystal to me is a very feminine guardian. It protects women, right? And it's very powerful, and it's badass. And the fact that it wanted you to let go of it was a big red flag for me, right? We couldn't figure out what the heck went on. We started researching. You started researching your genealogy. We figured this was a battle. This was a place that was big in the Battle of the Pali, where the islands were united. Very possible that one of your ancestors might have died here or something. And we were going off of that tangent. And then, see, I don't remember the third time. I remember the time we went. Oh, okay, that was September. We went 2 weeks later, and the same kind of thing happened. I remember that. And that's when Faye had the heat camera. I'm sorry, this energy is just so weird, man. I'm having a hard time putting words together in my thoughts. It's just, yeah. Phoebe, there's no button on that on my live. Sorry, on my TikTok. Usually it is there. But, let's see, wait, hold on. Oh, wait. Phoebe, you're the bomb. Can I do this? I can invite somebody, but can't find your name. I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna get my energy drink. I need a second energy drink for this. That's why I buy 2 energy drinks. I drink one first, and then it's good. Oh, no, that night. Yeah. That night wasn't when Faye had her camera though. That was a night when it was just us. It was just us guys. Where when she had the I can't remember. I forget what that's called. Fleur. There you go. FLIR. Well, that one was interesting for me because I remember Faye had recorded the whole incident. When this time you were crying, there was like sobs and all of that stuff. So Faye recorded it all and saved it. And then the next morning I messaged her asking her if I could see it and review it. And she said it was deleted. She said the recording did not exist. And so I Googled it and I walked her through how to recover videos. And we recovered the video. The video had deleted itself, but it was still on the cloud. So she managed to download it. And I was so happy. I'm like, yeah, Ghost 0. People, technology 1, you know. And we have the video, but it's only by invite only, yeah. I couldn't see anything in the video, but it was just kind of interesting to watch. The third time is the third time was the one that stuck out to me a lot. We were here on a tour. Obake was here, my friend Guy was here. There was like 30 of us around here. Earlier in the night, we were here telling ghost stories. A woman was affected, and Uncle Ruben came by and helped her, right? And then we all shared stories. Everybody shared stories. It was awesome. We went around and people had their own stories to share and all of that. And it was such a great night. And it ended by us in the clearing right in front of us. I had this thought, let's gather around, let's say a pule, a prayer, and let's go ahead and close the site and thank the spirits and that kind of stuff. And so we gathered around in the clearing. And as we started praying, the moon came out and shone just on our group. We were standing in the moonlight, and this little mist just started falling on us, like a little drizzle, little rain. It was definitely a blessing. It was so cool. I remember this. At the end of that, I was energized. People were energized. It was so awesome. And then you come up to me, Joy, and you look weak, and you tell me something's wrong. It feels like somebody is stabbing you in the heart, stabbing you in the chest. And I'm confused. I'm like, what? This was one of the awesomeness. This is one of the coolest blessings that I had ever witnessed. You know what I mean? It's definitely in the top 5, top 3, I'd say. But what, why is there something here? And I can't figure out what the heck this thing was. We had a lot of our psychic friends trying to look this up too, to see what this thing was that was affecting you. And it was leading us down so many different false leads to distract us. It was maddening, right? So we're over there and you kind of go limp. You just kind of stand there, almost like you lost consciousness. And I don't know why, but I instinctively moved my hand, not touching you, but from your back, and moved it up your spine to your neck, and I was pushing the bad spirit out. I guess that's kind of what made sense to me, is I was trying to push it out, and my hand would come up to your neck, I wasn't even touching you, you would throw up. and Uncle Reuben was there. He was saying the exorcism prayer in Latin, which really gave me chicken skin. Obaki was doing his prayer. Guy was doing his prayer. You had salt being thrown at you, holy water, everything. And you just kept throwing up and throwing up and throwing up. Corey was holding you up, and you were throwing up after you had nothing to throw up. And after a few minutes of that, I don't know how long it took, but I was just kind of like, this is not working. And I'll be honest, Uncle Reuben should have been enough. Guy should have been enough. With these prayers and Obakia, the potent of these prayers coming from people of faith, right? This should have been more than enough. These are protectors and guardians, but it was not working. We led you back down to the, we led her back down to the concrete barrier, and she sat down. So I'm trying to tell the story. I realize I'm telling the story to you. So she sat down on the barrier, and her head was just kind of hanging down, and your eyes were closed. And I am talking to you, and I tell you to look up. Open your eyes, look up. And you're like, ugh. I'm like, open your eyes, look up. Ugh. I'm like, look. And for some reason, like, it sounded to me like it wasn't me talking. It sounded like my voice echoed with something else. And I said, look, open your eyes, look up. She opened her eyes, looked at me, and had this really angry glare that wasn't her at all. And then it was her. And she looked and she's like, what happened? Why am I sitting down? Why am I weak? I just remember talking to you, Joe. We're standing in the clearing. How did I end up here? Why do I taste vomit in my mouth? And it's like no recollection of what had happened. And meanwhile, we are still confused as hell. We are still confused. We have no idea what the heck is going on, how that's happening, why that's happening. And then our mutual friend Sherry Pang, another psychic friend of mine, she does readings and healing and that kind of stuff. She mentions black salt, which at the time my friend Jamie was talking to me about black salt. She's from New Orleans or Louisiana, and black salt is a voodoo thing and blah blah blah. And so I was actually kind of talking about making Hawaiian black salt, and to me that was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, right? And so when Joy called and said that he needed black salt, I'm like, wait, what? Is it good?
No, I changed batteries twice. Like it's not turning on.
Okay, well, probably the switch. I'll take it apart and fix that after. See what happens. You don't use them. Yeah.
I got it open though.
Yeah. Right on. Thanks, dude.
MacGyver, bro.
There you go, bro. So Sherry says we need to get Joy and Corey some salt, and the daughter as well. And so I took this seriously. I went to the beach, okay, to the tide pools, where at low tide you can go to the tide pools and you can scoop out rock salt from these pools, because the salt water comes in, evaporates, the salt water comes into the hole, evaporates, and it keeps going until a nice layer of salt builds up, right? So as I was grabbing the salt, I was praying to the ancestors and asking permission and all of that stuff, and I was already putting protection into this salt. I was saying the prayer to Michael the Archangel as I was harvesting this salt, to make the salt that much more protective, that much more potent, right? I bring the salt home, dry it out a little bit more. I grab tea leaf that I had used for protection, and I pray to Michael the Archangel. I stick it in the oven until it burns. I take the charred remains of the tea leaf, Ti, not the kind tea you drink, yeah, Ti, it's sacred in Hawaii. I mix that in a mortar and pestle with the salt. And I think a little bit of holy water for binding agent, I think. And as I did this, I played the Michael the Archangel prayer, the long version, on my phone as I was doing the prayer, as I was mixing with the mortar and pestle mixing the salt into black salt. I was instilling it with as much power, as much protection as I possibly can. And we put it into a bag. You guys got the little necklaces that have you hold the ashes in, and you're gonna use that for black salt. And Thanksgiving, you stopped by and picked up the salt because it was Kaneohe area. And I remember, it felt good. The salt, it felt awesome. I think I even used a little bit of salt from the one that Jamie had made back in Louisiana for protection as well. Um, so a little while later, it's still Thanksgiving. We get a bunch of people over here, a bunch of my brother's friends, and we're about ready to have a shot, that kind of stuff. And then Joy calls me doing the same kind of thing, crying, emotions, and the same stuff is happening. And I was told every time you put it on, that these emotions take over you. And I'm like, wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. So I drove over there, and you had taken it off and you were fine. And then you put it back on, and boom, it hit you. Now, I can't remember, but your daughter was fine wearing it, right? Corey was fine wearing it. It was just you. When you would put it on, something was fighting. Something was fighting. It was just, I don't know. And then Marie met you at your job and looked at that and said it was amazing. And then she added protection too. Okay, it happened to Jerea too. Okay, I think I remember something like that. It happened to your daughter too, but not as bad. Yeah, it was like putting on this protection was putting on protection. Spiritual protection made things worse, and that should not happen. So Marie added some of her energy into it, some of her blessing, some of her protection, and then we do a call. You're on break, and you do a FaceTime call with all of us, and you put the necklace on the FaceTime call, and it takes over again. And in my head, I'm being told leave it on. This is like detoxing is the word that came up, detoxing. So I said keep it on, keep it on your neck. And then you started like trying to tear it off your neck, and you said it was burning your neck. You said you were like flinching. You're like, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's hot, it's burning my neck. And I'm like, lift it up, I want to see your neck. There was no burn marks on your neck. And so I'm like, no, it's not burning your neck. Keep it on. Keep it on. You need to keep it on. And within a few minutes, that whole wave of chaos subsided, right? And you were better. Then it started to make sense, actually. Actually, it was a little bit before. I was talking to Jamie, and it seems that we were looking at everything the wrong way. That there was something that had already gotten inside of you. I'm not even too sure about this yet. I'm not even 100% sure, but this was something that was attached to you so deeply that whenever you got a blessing, it ran. It was forced out of you. The blessing over here at Jud that night, this place has a lot of guardians as well. Just standing in our bubble, it kicked the entity out of you. That energy, it kicked it out of you. And the thing had to fight to get back in. And come to think of it too, I never really thought of it, but if a spirit is trying to control you, it's gonna make your emotions high. It's gonna make your energy level just completely high and chaos and kind of like it was, right? And it's gonna use that as an entrance point to get back into you. And so you were able to control it. That was awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. And I'd say that's the end of the story. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Joy? That's what I can remember right now. I'm also very sidetracked too. Phoebe, we all have black sand, which is even better. I don't touch the black sand. And that's lava rock. It's better kept on the Big Island to me. That is all, yeah.
That ain't
You,
black sand beach up there.
huh?
That ain't black sand beach up there.
Yeah, yeah. It's the purpose, yeah. Like I was saying earlier, when I'm blessing my holy water, it's the purpose I'm putting into it. Yeah, sometimes the purpose is to protect, sometimes the purpose is to kick the bad out of the house. Sometimes the purpose is to clean all the bad energy. If the couples, or if the people in the house fight often, and it has that kind of lingering energy. There was a house I went to. I don't know why. I don't know why I went. I mean, this wasn't even a haunting. That was. It wasn't even a haunting. It was a, hey, we're moving into this house that have a beach. Can you do a blessing before we enter this house? You know, kind of thing. It's like I kind of feel some weird energy, kind of thing, and it wasn't like nothing was happening. You know, and so sorry, any funny names on TikTok tonight. um, Still, I drove from Kaneohe to Eva Beach in rush hour traffic, so it took about 2 hours. And I went to go bless the house, and I just felt like I had to. And so when I did, and I went into the house, and everything felt all right. But then I got into the room, the master bedroom, and I felt him. No, that's right. They asked me to bless the house because the guy who used to live in that house committed suicide. I felt the guy who committed suicide. I felt his depression. I felt his energy. I felt why he committed suicide. I felt his despair, his helplessness. I could feel it. This was what it felt to me like. The stress became too much. The price of living in paradise, the being priced out of paradise, was too much and too sad. And that was the main stress. That was the main reason why that had caused the suicide. And so I talked to him and I helped him cross over. And it wasn't like dramatic or anything, you know what I mean? He just kind of peacefully, quietly did. And then the place felt that much better. But that was a huge learning lesson to me. This was just a regular person. I might have walked into his house, you know, I'm from my job. I might have walked by him on the street, you know, a year ago, a few months ago, before he had passed. You don't know this. And it was a lesson that I took to heart. You got to be nice to people. Yeah. All of that kind of stuff. It was just, yeah. And that energy, that could definitely affect people too. Hey, thank you for the follows, you guys. Thank you for all the shares. Mahalo, mahalo. Thank you. Now I will look through some of the comments. So, Kalamai, sorry. Chief of War. Yeah, that looks cool. I haven't seen it yet. Apparition looked like an apparition. It was a see-through person. I did see some posts on Facebook though. I want to know what you guys think. We get plenty of Hawaiians watching this stuff too. The term Mahu. I've always believed that Mahu meant genderless. Like a holy man who was not ruled by his desires of that nature. That makes sense to you? And so because he is not distracted by that, his mana becomes even stronger. Her mana, whoever, their mana becomes even stronger. That's kind of how I think. That's kind of how I've seen, how I've learned about Mahu. I think that was, I think I got that impression from the rocks over in Waikiki, the healing stones. Kapai Mahu, right? I think it's called. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm curious. I got the sense that there's something causing a huge amount of unsettled energy in the area to cause distraction. Yeah, I'm not sure why. This is weird. I have a feeling, Troy. It's like the feeling I get when I'm walking in the forest by myself, day or nighttime, no matter, knowing that I'm being watched and I ain't alone. I feel that all over the place, but this one, I would say it feels more sticky. More, not sticky, it feels thicker. Not heavier, but thicker. If that means anything to you.
I know I did protocol when I went down there.
Yeah.
It definitely different than up here.
Yeah, Mahu is a lot different than trans. Well, you see, you can be a he or a her, and you could still be genderless. Like they weren't driven by like maybe like even I would even thought maybe like a eunuch. If you're a eunuch and you have your parts removed or mutilated, then there is no desire at all, and you can focus more on that kind of stuff. And the smoke that you see in the camera is actual smoke in the camera, so no worry.
Okay, so do you have the actual definition of Mahu?
No, you haven't.
No.
See, for Hawaiians, it's not always an actual literal definition,
Right.
right?
Same word can mean various things.
Yeah. Like my daughter is Makamai, long eye, drooping eye.
Yeah, I only ask that because then maybe it can help answer the question if it's if Mahu is considered genderless or like in
Yeah, growing up.
the same gender.
Yeah.
There's actually I just seen came up on recommendations in YouTube. Somebody did I think it's like an hour or something
Ooh.
documentary
Yeah.
on the history of Mahu
Oh,
in Hawaiian culture or something like
they
that.
had a documentary on the history of Mahu.
Yeah, yeah. Like when, I never watched it, but I saw the title. I was like, oh goodness, I didn't know there was
Oh, good
like
lord.
there's that much
Look at what Keith
behind
said.
it all. Yeah,
Keith said, my impression is that the balanced genders is a potential source of power. That's good too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's good too. I don't see because growing up we just told Mahu means gay, right? That's as far as it went, right? But I think that it's a lot deeper, and I do believe that it depends on how you use it, and it could be many different things. Like as I said, my daughter's name means drooping eye, but her actual definition means precious, because when you look at something that is precious to you, your eyes droop with adoration, right? That's what her name means. It's the act of your eyes drooping in adoration. It's not. I kind of mess with her sometimes and be like, "Hey, what's up, droopy? Drooping eye." Both female and male. Okay. Often considered a third gender.
okay.
Okay.
Would that mean more so like Kahunas would have been
Yeah.
more or less Mahu?
I also know celibacy would increase your mana, right? It will make you much more powerful. So not having those urges or being able to control those urges and not giving into them would make you more effective as a kahuna, right? Will give you a stronger connection to the spirit.
So let me ask you this though: do you think that's something that derived from ancient Hawaiian history, or something that became present after
I think
um,
so. Talking to a few of the kahunas,
Christianity, or
yeah, after Christianity. So talking to some of the kahunas that I have, I know that discipline is required to become a kahuna. Diet, celibacy, all of this stuff. In fastings and like for 3 months at a time kind of thing, and that's where you get your power from, right? And so it makes sense to me that if you live a life where it's not a 3 month cycle and then you go back to your normal self, but if you live a life like this, then it could be more. And maybe the Hawaiians had seen that, and this guy is beyond man or woman. You know what I mean?
so
So
you
he's
think
both.
they
And yeah,
adopted some
and
of
like
that?
as Uilani said and Keith said as well too, it's like a balance. Yeah.
Because it almost sounds like a
Yeah.
description of a priest or a father.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because
They
men,
have the same concept, yeah.
because men, we like act manly to attract the wahinis, right? And women, they like act like they like act girly to attract the men, right? So what if you didn't care about either side? You would have a balance of both male and female, right? Okay. I just saw something walk right there, corner of my eye, right by the bridge.
Okay.
Something white, right to left. Oh, okay, Haulani, thank you. Documentary videos from Kumu Hinale Moana Wong. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm thinking a lot of this may have stemmed or started to come out because of the amount of kumus in hula.
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
are
Yeah.
Mahu. So,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's where the history began. But now that you brought up this whole Kahuna thing, that probably plays
Okay.
a part of their history too,
Yeah.
of what these guys are probably talking about in that documentary.
Yeah. And that, you know, I'm not an expert on this, but yes, you're hearing my voice, and so I'm making sure that I repeat back what I'm hearing from people who have more knowledge and have read more things and heard more things. And you know, Ulani says Mahu is a person who Hawaiian Mahu is a person who embodies both female and male spirits, often considered a third gender. Mahu individuals have traditionally held respected roles as healers, teachers, and cultural practitioners. Yep. So yeah, that's good. And then there's a documentary by Kumu Hinale Moana Wong. So yeah. Anyway, we talked a lot about Mahus for a while.
Oh, how'd you bring that up, bro?
I don't know.
I missed a lot. Mentioned with the trip on the phone with my son. Walking
No,
back
no,
and
no,
forth,
don't
like,
worry, Brian.
but I
Don't
didn't
worry.
hear any of the stories. I'm like, shoot, I missed it all. This is why I go back and
I
watch
heard a
the live.
laugh. Did you just hear a laugh?
Could have been my giggle.
Huh?
Could have been my giggle.
No, I heard over here like hee, like that. What a weird night, bro. What a weird freaking.
I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I'm out of the threshold.
Yeah.
But like I look on top of the phone and I don't know if that's just the lighting or what, but it always
No,
seems
let me
like
try.
there's something moving around
Yeah, let me.
out there.
I don't feel in danger.
No, me either.
It's just like just weird, different energy we're submerged in.
You said you missed the walking around you. No, Joe said he caught it.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
front of his eye.
Oh, Native Americans have a version of this too. Thank you, Chris. Interesting. All right, so let's do a little prayer first and see if that changes the area up. Yeah. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray, and do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all evil spirits that wander the earth seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Lord Jesus, we ask that you surround us with your light. We ask that you, just for now, while we are here, banish this weird, strange energy. I would, and just wipe the slate over here, just around us, not too far out, but just to keep each of us so we're not affected by it. Yeah. We ask that you help any spirits here who may need to be crossed over, who may need the help and the loving embrace that only you can provide. And we ask for your continued blessings and your continued protection. And we thank you with everything that we have. We pray this in the name of you, Jesus. Amen.
Maybe it's this unfamiliar feeling of the new.
Huh?
Maybe it's an unfamiliar feeling because they're new spirits.
Ah.
So because we're not familiar, it maybe feels a little uneasy or not something we can actually pinpoint or put a grasp on it.
Yeah. I don't know. Just weird. And then I have never had that thing not work. I've had it malfunction, but yeah, I don't know. I've never had it just stop working. I wonder about the ball. You know what we have here? You know what? Let's. I am curious.
When's the last time you used it? Did you bring it out when we went to Kulo? The ringing night?
Nope.
No, right?
Nope, because it was raining.
Did it get rained on?
Nope. Not a cool lawn. Ah. See, look.
Right.
So stupid. I get my box with the kind.
Is that like your crystal or something?
Yeah, but no more.
No more crystal.
No more crystal.
Oh, well. Didn't you? I could have sworn you let somebody hold it or use it one night.
I always put them back, bro.
Well, what if you never got it back though that night? I can't remember which night it
No,
was.
I don't let. I typically don't let people. They don't hold on to the pendulum for very long. Dang, that would have been
Oh,
interesting
that's
to
the
see.
pendulum. Oh, I thought it was a crystal. Never mind.
No, it was a
I was
pendulum.
thinking then.
So I don't. Yeah, that would have been interesting to see. Do I have anything that could be a pendulum? No, I don't.
Dowsing rods, no nothing, huh?
Nope, it's all in the other car.
Oh, wait.
It's all in my daughter's car, rather. Hey, John, how's it? Man, this, I don't know, man. This is just weird. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't need to talk about that. That's the one I was going to. Green screen. What? I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Have you
Wait.
also heard that sage isn't supposed to be used for like blessings or like cleansing or removal in the house?
Sage.
Yeah.
Oh, over in Hawaii? Yeah, no, it's not.
No, everywhere. Like that's not what sage does. It's not.
Really?
That's not what it's used for. Used mainly to calm the spirits, I believe.
Yeah.
Not to get rid of them. Like
It's
you know how
yeah.
we would use Hawaiian salt or tea
Yeah.
leaf or holy water. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people use sage thinking that
It's a fix all, cure all.
yeah, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's really not. Like I didn't realize that should be a big disclaimer. You know, there's so many people say, "Oh, burn sage," and they're actually just making the problem worse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the obake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the smoke. Um, no, yeah. Everybody, yeah. And that's what I have the group on Facebook, Hawaiian Hauntings, and whenever there's a house that needs blessing or somebody reaches out for help, it's always told by like a dozen people to sage them. Sage the house. And you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Sage gets rid of energy. It clears energy and cleans energy.
yeah. Uilani had mentioned what it's used for in the comments because I couldn't figure out the wording.
Yeah.
But I went back to look in the comments and I can't find it anymore. So
Yeah.
she had a good description of it.
Yeah. I read it out loud.
Wrote it, I just laughed at Sage.
Or it'll make them mad.
Mhm.
I've been to a few of those houses where they're like, I saged the house. I don't know why things are still going on and got worse. You know, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, because it's not meant for blessing or
You know they do that a
cleanse the
lot.
house.
They do that at Schofield a lot. The houses on Schofield, the military people. The Schofield is super haunted. You know, um, I don't know if you guys can hear me on Facebook or TikTok. I'm standing a little further back now because I got to stretch my back out. But Schofield has, yeah, a lot of ghosts, a lot of hauntings over there, a lot of people that have reached out for help. That place is unique. It was called Lehue before. It was a place where the warriors were trained and the warriors lived and all of that stuff. It was a very powerful place. So what you have there is you got these warrior spirits that are still in the area training. And then you got American warriors, the military over there, the army. And the Hawaiian warriors, like at the Pali, when we had a night where we had a group of disabled veterans on the tour. You know, both sides at the Pali were fighting, and then here come these other warriors, and the only thing each of the sides knew is that they weren't on theirs. So yeah, Schofield is just a lot of stuff. Troy, I'm sure you got many stories. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Stagnant energy I use only for yes. I get to explain. So like, um, brah, I'm having so hard time focusing on this. On Schofield Barracks, my theory of what can happen. Hold on. Lodges, Tales, Lodge Tales podcast. Ooh. It has other uses in spirituality. We use cedar for cleansing. Yeah, yeah. It has a lot of uses. It's ceremonial, all of that stuff. Uncle Ruben, he's a Native American shaman elder. He taught me a lot about the sage. He would use a sage. He can use the sage. You know what I mean? But for me, I didn't. I mean, I would if it called. I did use sage before. Oh yeah, well, this is what I wanted to tell you about. This one was a cool blessing. It wasn't a house. It was a building, like a professional kind of building. It was actually a correctional facility. for teenagers and adolescents. I won't even. I'm not gonna say which island it was on though. So we had gone over there because it was reportedly haunted. There was a little, So the guy took us around, told us what would happen, or what the things that would happen, things that would go on. And it's a place where the ghosts, there's the spirits there that were not very good. And when you are trying to heal that kind of energy, adolescent, teenager energy, right, which is wild already, you have to have good healing energy over there. But the entities that were there were not good or healing. The entities that were there were feeding off of the chaos, feeding off of the discord, feeding off of the bad and the angry and all of that stuff, right? And they were promoting it, and they were making it happen more and more and more and more and more. So when we went over there, ooh, hi B, you just stung me, right on. Um, when we went over there, we first investigated to see what happened. We caught a lot of stuff. The spirit box, or the random word generator, kept saying Jinn, Djinn, which is a fire elemental, for better of a word, genie. Um, it's more of a Middle Eastern name for spirits or elemental or whatever you want to call it. But Jinn are typically seen as malevolent, right? We had a shadow we caught in the little grid, the green laser grid. We had a shadow walk by. It was cool. Caught that on camera. My friend was military. He had military grade stuff there too, and it was so cool. Then we did a little more exploring. That was a girls' dorm. It was like an apartment building kind of thing. Then the boys' dorm it was surrounding a basketball court, and it was abandoned. It was these old abandoned rooms with graffiti and rusted bed frames, and it is like a perfect place for go ghost hunting. You know what I mean? It was like, holy cow, this is so cool. It looked eerie, it looked abandoned. So we're walking around over there, and it was like, yeah, it was cool. We ended up blessing each room, every room, with Hawaiian salt, holy water, and tea leaves. So much so that we ran out of salt, and we ran out of the holy water. Um, I remember then we sat down in the basketball field, and it just came to me, right? I told everybody that was with us. I think there was over 10 people. Sit down in a circle, and I went to envision and practice envisioning. So we envisioned like a big barrier around the place, keeping all the negative stuff out. And as the barrier was small and got bigger and bigger and bigger, this bubble pushed all of the bad energy out. And when we were walking by, there was a garden that the I would say kids, I'll say kids for lack of a better word. There was a garden the kids would, try to grow food and, tend to and stuff, but the garden was all choked with weeds, overgrown, and he said no matter how hard they try, the soil just doesn't fruit anything. There's no flowers, there's no fruit, there's nothing. Then we went to the girls' place. We started on the top floor, and we worked our way down with the only thing that we had left was my friend Sage. So I had my tea leaf and the sage. We worked our way room to room, all the way out, and we pushed everything down. We cleansed everything out. And then on the first floor, the last room I was in, I think the word jinn came up again, and I could feel the presence of that spirit. That once that spirit that I had felt when it said jinn before was like trying to flex, trying to puff out its chest, taunting, trying to be like, yeah, you're not gonna do anything, you dummy, that kind of stuff. Yeah, what are you trying to do? It's stupid, it's insignificant, you're not gonna do anything. And when I was in that room, all of a sudden, it wasn't puffing its chest out anymore. Hey, Jerry Lee, how's it? Good to see you. It wasn't puffing its chest out. It wasn't showing off. It was small and frightened. This thing had shrunken down, and this thing was small and frightened and hiding inside the closet. And I could feel it, and I was about to go ahead and bless that room and seal it off, and then this thing would have nowhere to go. But I had another idea come to me, and I said, you know what? Let's try that. And this has been my downfall as well. Is I give the benefit of the doubt so many times. Here's an evil spirit, but I'm convinced though that the spirit could turn over a new leaf. Sometimes I get that in my head. You got this big bad evil spirit and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I'm like, well, you don't have to be bad, you know. You can pray to Jesus, you know. You can learn all of this stuff, and you can be nice. And so I called the guardians of the area, and I could feel them. These giant spirits that were just towering above the building. You know, I called them, and I'm like, okay, listen. You see these guys above me? These guys are gonna watch you. I'm not gonna kick you out, but instead of making all that heva energy, instead of making all that bad energy to feed off of, right? Because these things require energy to feed off of, right? So it creates chaos and all of that stuff, and it makes the people just suffer so they can drain the energy from their suffering. And I'm like, why don't you make good energy and feed off the good energy? You know, kind of like I realized after Monsters Inc., you know, instead of screams, they made it into laughter, the energy that they had. But like, I said, why don't you try to do that? Either way, you can move on if you want. You can stay here if you want. But these guys, they're going to be watching you. And the moment you step out of line, they're going to kick you all calling out of here. Okay? So you better not mess up. And then we ended the night, and then everything was good. It was cool. I don't know what possessed me to do that, you know. No puns intended, maybe. I don't know. But that's what I did. And about a few months later, the guy, we got a hold of the guy again that had us bless the place, the guy that runs the place. He said the garden was in full bloom. Flowers, fruits, everything. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. That was awesome. You know, just to see that whole good and bad and the whole, just from it to go from bad to good, it was just, wow, that was cool. Night joy. No, Phoebe, it's not raining again. Facebook crashed? I don't know if Facebook crashed. It looks good for me. Spirit, can you pay off my mortgage? Hey, wait in line, buddy. Yeah, kick the okole. But yeah, that was an interesting one as well. Um, we had done a lot of blessings. Oh, I'll share one more. We'll end on this one more story, and then I'm tired. I'm gonna go home. Um, let's see. I cleansed the house where two boys were playing with the Ouija board. Something bad was there. Oh, I wonder why. It's not. It's not the good ones that come when they're summoned. It's the ones that want to make trouble and that kind of stuff. They're the ones that come when summoned. Ugh. Read some of the comments. There are 9 types of jinn in the Quran, all associated with different elements. Oh, interesting. There was movement behind the sign. I'm sure. So the spirits at Schofield located on sacred ground, and soldiers have also brought back a lot of baggage from deployments. Yeah, exactly. We got to investigate that place one night. I wouldn't say we were allowed, but we did. There's a few graves in the graveyard at Schofield that are hidden. They are not in the cemetery. They don't face the way the other graves face. The other graves face the flagpole. These graves face opposite of the flagpole. They face the ravine behind the graveyard. And as I said, they're hidden behind the bush, or they're not honored. These are people who, some of them were executed for crimes, and nobody would claim their body. Nobody would claim their body, so they buried them in the cemetery. But they were discharged dishonorably, and so they don't get to face the flagpole. Yeah, you heard that too.
Yep.
That was cool.
Like somebody just stepped into the picture.
Yeah. There's also many. There's also several graves that have dozens to hundreds of unborn fetuses, and it labels the dates and everything and all of that stuff, and it just, yeah, it's interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Lodge. And yeah, thank you, yes, for everything that you guys are sharing. Not to go there, and that's why you get video acting up. Okay. Many American troops have reported encountering jinn. Do I believe in the devil? Sure, why not? But there's free will, and so why would you ever choose that? Because it is a choice, right? Many American troops have reported encountering jinn in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yes, I've heard some of those stories, but they're not mine to share, Chris. If I ever meet you in person, I'll share them with you, but they're not mine to share. And they're amazing, you know. At one point, I had it trapped under the stairs. The mom asked for help, so that's why I stepped in. That's awesome. That's awesome. Ugh. It's funny, these things, they're so little. I was going to share a story, and I forgot what story I was going to share. Ah. Mm. That's the story I was going to share. The one involving the mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, the one involving the mirror.
Now I can remind you if you forget.
Huh?
Now I can remind you if you forget. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah,
I heard a piece of it.
yeah. Yeah, you know the story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Several years ago, we had gone to do a live in a residential area. I'd rather not say which, but if you search through my old videos, which actually you can't because Facebook deleted them all. And this one is not on YouTube, I think, yet. Um, we were invited to go over there, and we were told we walked around, and the people who live there that are in Hawaiian Haunting shared some stories, and basically, it's a place that was possession was common. Yeah. So I'm walking around the place. There were no tea leaf plants anywhere. Now that's the first thing you see in a Hawaiian community is you see plenty tea leaf plants. You see choke tea leaf plants, right? But there were no tea leaf. Tea leaves represent protection to me and respect. So when you plant the tea leaf plant, you're acknowledging that there are spirits in the area. You're respecting them, and you're also it's your protection from the bad ones. Many times, just showing the good spirits of respect will protect you from the bad ones itself. But anyways, I'm going over there, and it feels like graveyard soil. That's what came to me. It felt like the land over there was a graveyard, not like a cemetery. Okay, at peace, a graveyard that has been desecrated. It was. It felt dirty. It felt unrest. It felt dirty. And to me, I had the urge to move in. Not to move in like, oh, we go sunning over. No, no, no. This is a residential area. Get plenty houses, townhouses, all of that kind of stuff. And so, um, hold on. So I wanted to move there so that I could do prayers every day because I felt that that would make a difference. If I were to invoke Michael the Archangel and have him come down and infuse the land a little bit day by day by day, the land, I believe, would change and shift. What about the dark red tea leaf plant? So what I've learned is the dark red tea leaf plant is a hybrid. The red tea leaf plants are a hybrid. For me, I haven't really used them, but I only use the green waxy ones. That to me, that's the most effective. I've always been drawn to those a lot more.
Just somebody just told me something negative about the red chili plant.
The red tea leaves people say invokes Pele. But if you're Chinese, red is good luck. That's why you go Manoa Chinese Cemetery and there's red tea leaf plants on all the graves. Yeah. Yeah. I heard that the red tea leaf isn't good too. I don't use it because it's not waxy. And it's a waxy property of the tea leaf that absorbs the energy, that absorbs the heat, right? So scientifically, the theory I have is that if you have a fever, what I do is, if my kid has a fever, I'll stick the tea leaf in ice water, and then I'll stick it on their head. And after doing that a little while, the tea leaf becomes hot. And then cool it off again because the leaf absorbs the heat and pulls the heat out of my kid into the leaf, right? And so it absorbs energy. Heat is also energy. Spirits manifest with energy, right? They could be here, but they're not going to do anything until the electronics start dying, unless you feel a cold spot, which means that they had drained heat out of the area. You can't create energy. You can't create matter from nothing. You have to take it and transfer it and blah blah blah. Paranormal theories, laws of physics, you know. And so if your house is surrounded by tea leaf, they're a lot less likely to manifest. They're still going to be there, but they're not going to be able to interact with you on the three-dimensional plane, right? Anyway, back to the story. So we're walking around over there and they're sharing stories, and then we go inside, we go eat, you know what I mean? They made dinner. It was, oh no, bro, they cooked good food. And then she had asked me to, because her house was haunted, asked me to come and bless the house. The house she lived in before in Wahiawa was haunted. And that house got blessed, you know, by Obake, Mace, and Sereno. Wow. Mace and Sereno have both passed on. That's getting old, man. Um, it was in the there was a mirror that they had brought. The mirror had belonged to her father, and so she brought it over to the new place. And the mirror had that look. It was really old. When you look in the mirror, no matter how many times you clean them, it's dirty inside the mirror, right? And so when I walked upstairs, that's where the mirror was. I could feel them, and I'm like, oh, that was where I had to focus, right? Um, I'm not gonna carry it down. So I blessed the mirror, plenty holy water, plenty prayers. You know, I blessed the whole place. Walked around, upstairs to downstairs, and then as I was saying goodbye over there, and they were gonna walk us out to our car, the lady who invited us and lives in that house, got sick, nauseous, starting to throw up, like actually throwing up, kind of sick. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I don't know what's going on. There's something not right." And then she proceeds to throw up, and it's like, what the heck? So we leave the house. She feels a little better. We start walking to my car, or to the gate to let us out to where we parked. And she throws up again. And I'm like, "What are you guys gonna do?" And the husband's like, "I'm just gonna take her to the hospital. Something's not right." So they walk us out the gate, and at that point, she ends up possessed. At that point, she is no longer herself. She starts laughing and taunting and that kind of stuff, and like trying to fall down. And so the husband was holding her up, and I'm looking at her like, what the hell is going on? Not again. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. You know what I mean? Not her. Come on. She's saying all of this stuff, and it's like taunting and, just really embarrassing things. And I know it's not her. I look in her eyes and it's not her. And then after a while, we switch. I support her and hold her up. And the husband is the one talking to her and trying to get her to come back. That was the point of what we were trying to do. We weren't acknowledging the bad spirit because this thing wants to be acknowledged, right? This thing wants us to react to it. We're just like, nope, bring her back. Nope, nope, bring her back. Come on, blah blah blah. We tried maybe, I would say, half an hour to 45 minutes. One of our friends was there, and she's a scaredy cat. She's awesome, but I thought she was a scaredy cat anyway. And at this point, she was not. She got mad. She started yelling, "You leave my friend alone. Get the hell out of her." And I'm like, okay, settle down. We cannot feed this thing with anger. We cannot feed this thing with negativity. You gotta relax. You gotta settle down. And it took a while, and then finally she comes back and she looks and she's like, Joe? Joe? What am I doing here? How did I get here? Why am I on the ground? And it's like, oh, and then me and the husband are like, oh, she's back. Thank God. 45 minutes trying to bring her back, witnessing all of this stuff. She's trying to hurt herself, all of this, right? And 45 minutes. And then she's finally back. But she wasn't, because it felt off and it felt wrong. And so the husband is like, oh, okay, well, I'm so glad, blah, blah, blah. And he's talking to her and he's asking, and telling her, oh, this is what happened and all of this stuff. And she's like, uh huh, and nodding. And then I look at her and I'm like, tell me, where did we meet? Where was the first time we met in person? And I saw her face turn into this wicked smile. And I'm like, yeah, you need to get the hell out of her, you know. And she just started laughing again, laughing again. I had called up my friend Jamie, the one from Louisiana. She does remote work. And so she was able to find my friend. It was funny. It was unreal. So FaceTime, right? She's over there channeling, doing her stuff, and then she's narrating what's happening and what she sees. And she's like, I found her. She's in a, you know, and these are my headphones. I have my headphones in, so nobody else can hear her but me. She's like, I found her. She's in a field of purple flowers, and she's lost. But I found her, and she found me. And we're coming back. And I'm like, really? And then my friend, she opens up her eyes again, and it's her. And she's like, Joe, what the hell's going on? She's on Tirakai. And she's like, what the hell is going on? What was happening? How come I saw Jamie in a field of purple flowers? What the hell's going on over here? And I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'm just glad you're back. But it didn't stop. She kept throwing up to the point where her husband did have to take her to the hospital overnight. And the doctor couldn't help her. She stayed in the hospital overnight and she couldn't keep down anything. She couldn't keep down water. The doctor couldn't figure out what was wrong, so he needed to just release her at home. He couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And so I think I took off the next day. I called up my friend Guy, right? Talk about synchronicity. And so me and Guy show up over there, right? She's in bed. I think maybe this was 2 days later. She's laid out in bed, totally, completely weak, right? And Guy walks into the room upstairs and he's like, oh, brah, this mirror needs to go. This mirror needs to get the hell out of here. And we're like, yeah, we agree. So we carry the mirror, we put it outside the door, we lean it against the railing, all right? We lean it, this big heavy mirror, with the just tilted against the railing, where the mirror side is facing down. Okay, and it was against a brick railing. So there's no wind, there's nothing, right? We go inside and we're just relaxing and eating. And I go upstairs to help her. Again, I call up my friend Kai, who does remote as well. And he's like, okay, let me see what I can do. And he's on FaceTime with me. He's like, I need you to put your hand on her stomach and tell me what you feel. So I put my hand on her stomach and I'm feeling around and there's little bumps. And he's like, what you're feeling worms. She has worms inside of her stomach. He's like, they feel like they're the width of a broom handle. And I'm like, yeah, it feels like there's a bunch of these things moving around inside of her, as thick as a broom handle. He's like, what I need you to do is I need you to grab some salt, Hawaiian salt, and I need you to rub the salt, mix it with some water, and rub it into her stomach. So I did that, and then everything was gone. And he's like, okay, the worms are gone now. And I'm like, brah, what the hell? All those little bumps I felt completely vanished. And she kind of sat up weak, and I'm like, okay, well, she's back. And she's like, Joe? And she's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. She was in her 90, right? But it doesn't matter. I don't care. And he's like, okay, now you're gonna want to give her food and water. And I'm like, she's not holding down anything, bro. He's like, okay, we'll start with some watered down green tea. Keep in mind, to this point, she hadn't taken any fluids or any food because she couldn't hold it down. She threw up water. Okay, so we gave her water and mixed with a little bit of green tea, and she held it down. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And we gave her more, and she held that down. And she's like, oh, awesome. And she went to go eat dinner, and she held that down. I'm like, oh, hey, no, don't go too far, okay? Relax a little bit. Eat a little bit at a time, you know? But she was fine. She was good. She was happy. And then we hear this loud crash from the outside. The mirror had fallen down. Now, keep in mind, as I described it, the glass, the mirror side, was facing towards the railing, and it was tilted down towards the railing. But how it fell with the glass side hanging up. And this thing was heavy. Okay, maybe 40, 50, 60 pounds. And maybe even more. It took three of us to carry it. And I'm like, we ran outside. We're like, what the hell? And I'm looking at it, and there's just these big, sharp shards of glass. And guy looks at the mirror, and he's like, Joe, look at that. I'm like, look at what? He's like, look at the glass. You remember the glass was aged, right? It was foggy. He's like, look, it's crystal clear now. It looks clean. It looks clear, right? Come to find out that my friend's dad and Guy used to bowl together. That was more synchronicity right there. They were good friends and they bowled together all the time. And Guy's like, oh, no way, you're the daughter. Oh, right on. You know, and they're just talking about, they're just talking about that. They're like, you're the daughter, right on. And she's like, oh, that's fitting, yeah? That you come over here, his friend, to get rid of his old mirror. You know, that was kind of cool in itself. You know. Um, so we start carrying the mirror. We got to walk downstairs, right? And the husband picks up the mirror, and we each kind of grab one side. And all of a sudden, I tell the husband, "Hey, stop, stop, stop! Watch out!" He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't stand there." And he moved, and as he moved, a shard of glass, a sharp shard of glass, about a foot, 2 feet long, yeah, about 2 feet long, came zooming down the mirror and like pointy, sharp end out, and just went right through where he was standing. Like, he looked at me, he's like, oh, what the hell, you know? So we carried the mirror to the dump, and we just threw it away into the big, the dumpster. We just tossed it in there. The funny thing was, the very next day, she was fine after that. Everything was good after that. The very next day, um, a friend of mine, okay, well, yeah, a friend of mine sends me a picture. Look what I found at Jud. Okay, we're at Jud Trail, daytime. There was an old antique mirror on the bottom of Jud Trail. Okay, it looked similar but not identical. What the hell? First of all, look, we're on the road. You got to walk down, all the way down and around. Who is going to carry a mirror all the way down there? If you're going to dump rubbish, you just go leave them on the side of the road. You know what I mean? And don't do that. That's not porno. That's not good. But somebody went through all of well, maybe it makes sense now too. But somebody went through the trouble of bringing it all the way down the trail and carrying this big, heavy mirror down the trail and putting it up over there. But now that I think of it, the area it was in is an area I know to have a portal of sorts. And so I would have been more interested now to do experiments with it down there. But yeah, some people took it out. It was only there for a couple of days. That was synchronicity as well, yeah. Does anybody have any questions? We're going to end the live soon. It's been 2 hours. If anybody has any questions, I'll give it another couple minutes. Okay, I'll give it a couple of minutes because I wasn't reading the chat. I was trying to tell the story, yeah. But thank you guys for tuning in. You need to close the mirror. Yeah, I'm not good at closing, but that's why I use holy water. Holy water is good. I'm from Australia, so some of these Hawaiian spirits I don't know. No worry. We get play. Yeah, no worry. Some of these Hawaiian spirits I don't know, and I'm native Hawaiian. You know. How's it? Where this at? This is at Old Pali Road. I'm not surprised. Kind of surprised. The new tunes. Let's see. YouTube is going off, bro. Some keiki come out to play during the day with the living children on the playground. That's cool. That's cool, Troy. I've heard that red tea leaves plants grow where there's Eevee. Ooh. I know that they plant markers, yeah. I know they plant markers in forms of plants like you go H3, yeah.
What's that?
No, like H3, you go drive down, you see the palm trees, yeah. All the palm trees are markers for sacred sites or burial sites or one of those.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't share this in my life.
Yeah. They're home.
I don't know how they can get to it, but
Yeah. You know, it's like more towards the entrance of the valley. There's a lot more, and the further back you go, the less and less and less they get. There are homes in Wahila that were built atop a graveyard, recurring deaths of young people. Oh no. Kilohana Elementary School used to be a hospital. Yep. Sometimes you can hear babies crying. Ooh. They like to do that, yeah. They like to make schools hospitals and morgues. You're in Waipahu. Waipahu get plenty of stuff too. Hi, Jess. Leilani Sheen lots of stories in the school. Yep. Okay. Hawaiian salt is just built different. Menahuni. 2 school classrooms are known for having spiritual activities. Yeah. Hey, Zibble. Yeah, I know. This place get plenty ghosts. You just gotta come with Pono and you do protocol. Protocol is always you go introduce yourself and you ask for permission and you acknowledge that you are walking in their house, yeah. Yeah. They do this every Friday night, yeah. Well, this is Saturday because I was busy on Friday. Take us on an adventure to one of the markings. Some vid. What does that mean? Went up there with two of my friends at like 11 or something. We pulled up to the gate because it was closed and just parked up there for a bit. Oh, the petroglyphs. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Halava.
Well, halava.
Yeah, going down the H Street.
Okay. That's you can only access that on the access road though. Then we noticed you couldn't see the main street lights and the gates started just fading. That sounds awesome. Mililani Middle School is another spot. Yep. Yeah. Everybody is dumb kids. You know what I mean? So when I go out and I see dumb kids come over, I remember I was a dumb kid too at one point. Yeah. And so I do my best to teach. I mean, I cannot say, what are you guys doing here? You guys disrespecting the spirits. Get lost when I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, come join us. You know what I mean? We'll tell ghost stories. You guys going to go hiking down the trail, look for ghosts? Okay, here's a tea leaf. Here's some salt. Here's my number. If you need help, call me up. You know, that kind of stuff. The main thing with when it comes to evil spirits and bad spirits is they're like a abusive spouse or an abusive partner. They're gonna try and make you feel isolated. Yeah, and just remember, you're never alone. There's always help. Exactly, Zibble. Yeah, you gotta ask permission. Loop Trail is another. I've learned how to speak, how to ask permission every hike now. Yep. I found driving around night in Hawaii was creepy. I didn't feel so safe. So safe. Daytime, no problem. Yeah, we have a lot of spirits around here, and a lot of it's different now. Some of the scarier stuff are more of the living. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the like, subscribe, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Um, Really appreciate it. We like to do this kind of stuff, and every now and then we go to a new location. I like to go back to that other place we went to last week sometime. Maybe not carry an entire table though, because that was kind of that drained me.
At the table. Came
And
in handy, brother.
and this time I go take Jubu's advice and bring one little microphone that's windproof, so we can actually sit in the graveyard and get a windburn. Hey Jeffrey, knowing the inevitable of one day we will, that one day we will all pass. Thinking ahead, what would be some of your goals and objectives on the next chapter? Um, Goals and objectives on this life is to be good. This is the, I don't know, just have, uh, remind me of this again because there's a whole lot I could say on this subject, and I want to go home already because I'm tired.
What is that? The subject?
Yeah, no, this over here.
Yeah, what is
Knowing
the
the inevitable one day. The subject is thinking ahead. What would be some of your goals and objectives onto the next chapter? I would always say, be pono, be pono, do what's right, do what's respectful, what's righteous. But then again, there's that balance. And that's what I want to bring up. You have to have bad for good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, people need to understand that there has to be balance in the world.
Yeah,
You can't have good without evil. You
Yeah.
can't have light without dark.
yeah. Because everywhere you go, show respect. You know what I mean? You can never go wrong with that, but you can always go wrong by showing disrespect. Too many people nowadays think too much of inside themselves. Their circle, and the only thing that matters is their immediate circle. And people don't look and include other people, strangers in their circle. You know what I mean? We're all people. We're all people. We all have the same problems. We all have this, we all have the same everything. Yeah. That's the problem. It's like when you go drive around some places, big city, it's like everybody too busy for you. You know, they don't care about you. They care about themselves. They are in a rush. They want this. They want that. You know what I mean? That's not a good mentality to think. That's not a good way of thinking. You know, you go to the airport, the airplane. Oh, you could see them. All the people that. Oh, I'm in one rush. I gotta rush off the plane. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm more important than everybody else. Now, every now and then, it could be they gotta catch a connecting flight, but still, when I have to catch a connecting flight and I'm running late, I'm gonna, ask the people around me, hey, do you mind if I cut my flight takes off in about 15 minutes? That kind of stuff. I'll communicate. But anyway, that's how you know I'm getting tired. I'm rambling. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. I'll check you guys out later, yeah? Have a great night and aloha.